In this video I'm going to give a demonstration of where you would break inheritance within the sites and various other objects. So I'm going to create a site, I'm going to break inheritance at the site but also at a list level as well, and I'm going to change permissions to accommodate where I need those groups to work. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a subsite for blogs. So this will give me a good example to show you about changing the inheritance not only of sites but of certain lists and libraries. So first of all, to test this out, I need to make sure I've got some users in my members group. So I'm going to view my members, and there you go, and I've got all the student 1, student 2, student all down to student 10 that I had picked earlier. And these are members of my classroom. I would probably get them to go in there and witness actually looking at my blog site and using it. So back to my project instructor site, and from here I'm going to go to Site Actions, New Site, and create a blog site. So there's my blog. I'm just going to call this Team Journal. Just put the word journal as the URL object name, and then click Create. When my site is created, automatically it's inheriting the permissions from the top level site or the parent site. That means that everybody can contribute to my blog site. Everyone can create posts and everyone can add comments to each post. I want a set of blog authors, and I'm going to use my power users. They're the ones that are going to be creating posts and journals in here. My members, I don't want them to create posts, but I do want them to add comments to the posts that the power users provide. So the first thing I've got to do is change the permissions so that my members can only read content inside this site. So I'm going to go to my Site Actions, Site Permissions, and there you can see I've got the same permissions, same groups inherited from the parent site, which in this case is the top level site. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop inheriting permissions. And this works like a change from a link to an embedded object. You imagine an Excel chart linked into PowerPoint. If I modify the Excel chart, then the PowerPoint version is automatically updated. But if I break the inheritance, if I break the link, I don't lose the chart in PowerPoint. It retains the very last copy that it got from Excel at the point I broke the link. But if I modify the link, the Excel chart at that point, the PowerPoint one will remain the same. So in the same case here, I've got the same groups with the same permissions, but they're now severed, so I can modify these without affecting my parent site. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my members and I'm going to edit the user permissions, and I'm going to give them read access and remove the contribute. Notice I've been adding a permission first before removing one. It's just a sort of a fear mechanism I have. If you do take a tick out before adding another one, Lord forbid if you click OK, if the box disappears and they're all empty, you've basically given or taken the permissions away. Imagine if that was the site owner group. So my members are now read. My owners will still have full control. My power users are still going to manage this site. I can then remove anyone else who doesn't need to be there. So I think that's fine. I've got my owners, my power users, they're going to have rights. But the members are only going to read the content. And then it just confirms that I have unique permissions. Okay, so if I go in as one of my power users, one of my power users I'm going to log in is as Derek Hall. And Derek is now going to create a new post. Okay, so I just added a quick bit of body text into the message there. And I'm going to now scroll to the bottom and publish this. Now because Derek is a power user, as an owner, I'll be going in there and verifying Derek's posts. So I'm going to log in as myself. Manage the posts. There's Derek Hall's, and it's pending an approval, so I'm going to go in there and approve Derek's post. Okay, Derek's post is now available at the top there. So quite a nice management association there. Because of the power user settings I gave, Derek and Colin can create posts, but it still needs the owner to approve those posts. Now, I'm going to log in as one of the student accounts who is a member of this site. Let's log in as student 1. Don't forget, all the students in the members group now have read permissions inside this blog site. So when I go to look at a post and think that's interesting, I would like to comment, I click on the link, I can't comment. I don't have rights to comment. The comment box has disappeared. So what I need to do as the owner is I need to change the permissions to the comments list. There's a list that sits here. It's hidden away, and that's where the comments go. So I'm going to log in as instructor. There you go. I switched to instructor, and straight away you can see the comment box has now appeared because I have the rights to use it. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to all site content, select the comments list, and I'm going to change the permissions to this list. So go to the list tab. The permissions button is there, the little icon, but for those that don't get to see that, you should do. But I'm going to go to list settings and show here. I can change the permissions for this list here as well. They both go to the same page, and you can see the list is inheriting permissions from its parent, which is the top of the journal site. So I'm going to stop inheriting permissions. Once again, it takes a copy, snapshot of the permissions as it was before. But what I'm going to do now is going to go to the members, tick, edit the user permissions, and say I allow them to contribute to the comments, and click OK. That very quick change should now be all I need for the student to go in and add comments. So to prove that works, I'm just going to go back in as student 1. So I'm here as student 1. Student 1 reads Derek's post, clicks on the comments, and there you go. Student 1 can now add a comment. And there you go. That's it. Student 1 has added a comment. If we go to the top of the site, you can see one comment has now been added to this post. So the permission inheritance does have its uses to breaking it into the lists and the sites. It's very rare that you have any permission inheritance required of items and folders, but there may be requirements